Hey ladies! Welcome back to my channel. It's your host, London Lamborghini. And we are back at it again with another video today for you. The best TikTok compilations from Julie Theus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but she is a TikTok content creator that makes psychology-based content based on all the books she reads. This girl reads a lot of books. And she was also a participant on a Netflix reality show. I did forget the name of the show, but I'm going to link all her socials on the screen so you can go and check her out. But in today's video, we are going to be speaking about how to get that guy to fall in love with you and the science behind what makes a man fall in love. So enjoy the video.
Men don't fall in love through sex. They fall in love through the promises that they make and then keep to you. Now I'm about to give you a whole science lesson because you guys are out here getting it wrong and you're hurting yourself because of it. Now women do fall in love through sex. That's why whenever you hear someone like, oh no, it's going to be casual, I don't actually like him, like I'm gonna be player two, biochemically that's really hard because we release oxytocin. Oxytocin is your bonding chemical. It's why you feel close after sex. It's why you feel close during cuddling. Us women be firing off that oxytocin like crazy when we're in love. It's why he was kind of okay at first and now you're like, he's literally shit and I am so in love. Men release some levels of oxytocin after sex, but it's actually not what bonds them to someone. What bonds them to you, that commitment level, is vasopressin. So what happens in the beginning though, they are releasing testosterone. Testosterone is their pursue behavior. That's why, girlfriend, do whatever you want, but if you're wanting a guy to commit to you, sleeping with him in the beginning isn't the smartest thing to, because guess what? His levels of testosterone are the highest when pursuing, you get what you want, they just drop, which means right after sex, if it's in the beginning, he actually likes you less, unless vasopressin is released. But men have to develop vasopressin receptors for that to happen, and those take time to build. Testosterone does not create commitment. To them, it peaks, dips, okay, now they have to go find that thing that peaks their testosterone again. They already got the conquest over there. Say men fall in love through the commitments they make and keep, because this is more of a sign of a vasopressin release. The other sign of vasopressin release is mate guarding behavior. That is very much, these are my resources, you cannot have them because I care about them. This chemical takes time to develop, but it's also the reason if you keep sleeping with someone who treats you like shit, who keeps breaking their promises to you, who breaks their commitments to you, who does not seem to care to commit to you, the vasopressin is not going to be meant for you. You cannot sleep your way with a guy into making him care. That's not how it works. And it's going to work the reverse for you if you're a woman, because you are going to be releasing all this oxytocin and you're going to be the one going through that heartbreak. And that shit's going to suck.
Men are who fall in love. Women only need to love themselves. Most of you self-sabotage dating by loving a man more than you love yourself. If you're wondering, how can I trigger his vasopressin? How can I trigger his testosterone so that he loves me? I have tips, but most of you are doing too much. In the beginning, that initial lust phase where the testosterone is peaking because he's on that pursuit, all you really need to do, guess what, is look right to him and smell good and be pleasant to be around. If you're wanting to keep his testosterone high and peaked and have that pursuit, you have the most negotiation power at the beginning if you don't sleep with him. I say love yourself more than you love him, not out of a kumbaya self-esteem thing, but the way you act in relation to that are things that will raise his testosterone. For example, if you are all about him and he is your center of the universe, what do? You chase, you pursue. I think I'm going to text him. What does that do? He doesn't need to pursue. He doesn't need to hunt. He doesn't need to provide. You're providing all the things. You're trying to mother. All of that, testosterone decrease. If we're talking about vasopressin increase, I'm not telling you not to sleep with him on the first date because we're over here being Christian prudes. Vasopressin receptors literally take time to build. The other reason why waiting is going to be beneficial for you is because men do release oxytocin after sex. It's in a much smaller amount than women, but their testosterone is highest in the beginning and testosterone receptors block that oxytocin. However, after he commits and is dating someone for a while, they've studied in men's testosterone is naturally lower, letting him feel that oxytocin, letting him bond with you. Other thing you guys are getting wrong in my comments is you were saying, oh, just stress him out because that will release testosterone and vasopressin. Over a long term, not beneficial. Where you guys are getting this is because yes, when there is a problem and men solve it, then they get that dopamine release and vasopressin release. However, science has shown when men are in chronic stress, that is with the woman who's always complaining, why can't you do this for me? Why can't you give me flowers? Why can't we go on more dates? Complain. There is no him overcoming. He actually then starts to release levels of estrogen. He stops releasing testosterone, and he is not going to have those feelings to have sex with you, to bond with you, to commit to you. And when his estrogen levels rise, you are going to see him start to pull away, because alone men will rebuild that testosterone doing boy stuff. But he isn't conscious of this. So all he is going to think of is, I want to get away from you and I feel better when I'm not with you. What you guys are observing isn't the woman who gives him problems. It is the woman that he is obsessed with, that he can't get enough of. But she is the one who loves herself more, who is making selfish choices for her. And because of that, she has boundaries. She has her own life. She's not mothering him. That triggers his masculinity and makes him want to pursue. How to increase vasopressin so that man bonds to you. Here's the thing, as a woman, you shouldn't even be doing too much. Women who overdo it, they act like his mother. That decreases the hormones that we want to increase. Some of you are saying, oh, it's too many rules, I can't do it. When really the way you can increase a man's bonding hormones is through the way you communicate. We've gotten it a little twisted. We all think we just have free filter to say whatever we want to anyone. And oh my gosh, if people tell us any type of rules and it's too much, I couldn't possibly do it. If that's working for you, go on ahead. But so many of us have not learned proper communication styles, proper relationship styles. We didn't have a healthy mother-father dynamic to model that for us. One of the ways vasopressin is released is through him accomplishing a task. So let him do stuff for you. Here's a psychology tip for you. Most people think, oh, if I do some nice things for people, they will like me more. Opposite is actually more true. When you have them do nice things for you, they like you more. Crazy. Here's an example of where vasopressin could be released. I bet you mess it up every time. Your man goes, where do you want to eat? You go, I don't know, you choose. But this is the perfect opportunity to give him a little task that he can do for you, accomplish that, and feel good. My first video, what did I say? Men do not fall in love through sex. They fall in love through the commitments they make and keep to you. So where do you want to eat? Pick two things. Oh, I don't know, babe. I would love to do either sushi or we could go get steak. Guess what? Now you have given the bait. Hey, here are two easy tasks you could do to make me happy. And when he picks one of them, he takes you to sushi. Oh my gosh, babe, I'm so happy. Tell him your feelings about that. Now you just triggered vasopressin, dopamine, testosterone, because you gave him a little task he could do for you. You let him complete it, and then you told him how happy that makes you. That's the other thing. Communicating with your feelings gives him that hormonal release that he did a good job. He completed a task. He's a big, strong man. You're not doing anything extra. I'm not saying lie, but how many times have they actually done something for you and you're like, oh, that makes me feel really good. That makes me feel really happy. Say that. That makes me feel happy. That makes me feel safe. That makes me feel protected. You want him to do more of that stuff? Say more of that stuff. If you stress a man out, will he fall in love? Well, here's the answer. This is a little bit of an art form, and so many of you, I can tell, are about to mess this up. Because overall, no, you do not want a man who is chronically stressed out, because men who experience stress that they cannot solve will then start to release estrogen. What's the issue? Cool, then they're more like us. No, bad news for men. You won't experience the good emotions with them. Estrogen peaking in men, you will see depression, irritability, anger, mood swing, weight gain, low sex drive, erectile dysfunction. But I know what you guys are thinking, because you're imagining that woman who can kind of have her way with guys. As you picture her as strong, she's not giving in. What she's doing is holding her boundaries. And like I said before, loving herself more than she loves him. That dominant masculine man, yes, seeks a challenge, but one that he can solve. There's a big difference between the woman that is complaining and nagging, I want all these things, and putting him down and shaming, versus the woman who has her own life going on, who keeps herself busy, who isn't plain hard to get, who just is hard to get because of who she is. Because on that reverse of the difficult woman, you also don't want to be the woman who is, you can do whatever you want, I don't care, I'm easy, I'm gonna roll over, oh, can I take care of you, can I mother you, can I love you, what do you need when you have done absolutely nothing for me? Some of you are wild in my comments, you're saying you're exhausted because God forbid you're here and God forbid you're here, and you're just meet somewhere in the middle. You're overcomplicating it though, because most of you women actually naturally go here because you have a whole ass load of attachment issues that make you feel unworthy, unlovable, so you pretend and try to put yourself in the box of being this perfect woman and doing so much for him with the hopes that maybe one day he will love you. Good news is you don't have to do all that. Maybe the bad news for some of you is if you want to attract a long-term committed relationship with that high-level masculine man who's going to protect, provide the dream, maybe you just don't say every single little thought that is in your head, kind of like you wouldn't with a friend or a coworker. Maybe we learn how to communicate. And learning to communicate based on those sex differences is going to be beneficial for what you desire in the long run. This is helpful for you. So no, we don't stress him out, but give him a challenge he can overcome. And that first starts with you and being someone that holds yourself to a higher regard, a high self-esteem, that has recourse requirements and entry level for you to be with me. When he performs in a good way, in a respectful way, in a way that makes you feel good and safe and protected, then you get to reward him with your praise, your admiration, your softness, your femininity. And if he's a healthy masculine man, he will give back because he will want to see you happy. How to get a man to do what you want him to do. You need to do some self-reflection. Are you asking in a way that inspires his masculinity, or are you asking in a way that shames him, puts him down, and is going to make him resent you and not want to do any of that? The bigger one, are you actually asking for what you want, or are you being passive-aggressive about your needs? Because honestly, sometimes as women, we don't always know what we want. We sometimes just feel bad, and so we're like, okay, well, now I'm about to pull out the list of all the things you didn't do because I don't like how I feel inside. And if you come at it from that point, like, oh, how have you not hung this thing up? I've been asking you to do things around the house all this time, and then you just go on a list. That doesn't inspire him to make you happy. And a man who loves you does want to make you happy. Instead, it can look like, baby, that would make me so happy if you hung up that picture. Baby, it'd make me so happy if we had date nights. Baby, I always feel so special when we're on date nights. Can we have more of those? Can we go this weekend? And when he does it, show that appreciation. But I know some of you are gonna go, I do all of that and he still has not done it. Well, here's the thing. If you want him to be in his masculine and him to lead, you don't have complaining rights. When you go into that, you are switching into your masculine and you are leading. So if you don't have complaining rights, what do you have? You have veto rights and you have rejection rights. Veto rights is letting him take the lead, and if something doesn't feel good and safe to you, you're allowed to express that. I don't want to do that. Rejection rights come down to either if this man is showing you repeatedly that he cannot perform a task that you want him to do, then you either have to accept him or you have to kindly reject him. The complaining, the training, it's not ever going to work in your favor. You'll only switch into that mothering role, which will put him into Peter Pan little boy role, or you will switch into the masculine role, which if you want that, that's fine. But if you're like, I don't want to be the leader, I don't want that, I want to be protected, provided for, then there has to be those two polarities. This stuff is so nuanced though. There will always be new fights, new conversations to be had. How do I navigate this? And if you are wanting that, I encourage you to join my Psych Advice Inner Circle, where you get coaching every single week. And one of those sessions is completely focused on relationships, healing past shit, but also creating the relationship of your dreams. This is how you attract a man back to you instead of forcing him back with you. We don't want our mindset, how do I get him? How do I train him? That's you flipping into your masculine, you being the leader, which does not inspire him to activate in his masculine and releasing his testosterone to protect you, love you, be that man you probably dream of him to be. If in that early period of courting things have gone well, you guys have been seeing each other, his testosterone levels will drop. And most men aren't conscious of this, but then what naturally happens is he will pull back. It's very healthy to go let them do their boy cave time, because typically in those things that men are naturally drawn to, like sports and activities, are things that naturally peak the hormones he's supposed to have, like testosterone and vasopressin. They have a challenge and they're overcoming that. But when he pulls away, this is where most women mess up, because that freaks you out, it triggers your own abandonment wounds, and what most women do is they try to pull him closer. That is not going to work out in your favor. You are going to make him feel overwhelmed. He's going to feel worse. Again, he's not self-conscious about his testosterone and estrogen levels. He's just going to know, I feel like shit, and I think maybe it's her that's making me feel that way. So if a man pulls away, let him. You should be so in love with your life and what you're doing. You should have a strong enough sense of self that you are not dependent on that man to make you feel good about who you are. Your focus should not be on getting him back. Your focus should be on making you happy. That's what's attractive. That's what's sexy. And if you're in your head, oh my gosh, if I let him go, he's gonna forget about me. He is supposed to be a natural hunter. If he really forgets and doesn't know how to text you, pursue you, I don't want a man who's a bad hunter. But I get what you're thinking. Well, what if I let him go and he doesn't come back? Then it probably wasn't going to work. The worst thing you can do is hold on so tightly. And if you're wondering, okay, well, how do I feel good about myself? How do I create that? What can I do as my brain is spiraling about him pulling away while still attracting the relationship of my dreams? join my Psych Advice Inner Circle. This is a members only group and it includes weekly coaching sessions on both personal healing and growth and relationships. These are the 2 things you guys ask me about all the time, and as a member you get access to unlimited Q&A with me along with these weekly sessions. You want him to do more for you? Then stop blocking your path to receive. Women are so bad at this because I think even while we deep down desire to be cared for, to be protected, to be provided for, we block it ourselves almost every day. Even though we desire this, most women have a shame around receiving. I want you to catch yourself in this next week. How many times do you say things like, "That's okay, I got it"? Sitting down in a waiting room, someone comes up to you, "Ma'am, would you like a water?" You go, "Oh no, that's okay. I'm okay." You're carrying something heavy, a stranger comes up to you, "Oh, let me help you with that." "That's okay, I got it." Your partner, the very person you are saying, "I desire more from them," they go, "Oh, hey, let me get that for you." You go, "Oh, no, it's okay, I got it." "Hey, let me make dinner." "Oh, it's okay, I got it." You don't receive and you're resentful about not receiving because you yourself have been the one blocking it. And usually I think this behavior is rooted in a childhood self that said, "It is not safe for me to rely on others to give. I will protect and I will give everything to myself because I have not learned that it's safe to trust in others." But you still desire it, so you provide for yourself, until one day you explode and then you get upset with your partner, upset that people aren't pouring into you like you pour into them. So how do you fix this? For the next week, I want you to practice receiving. Anytime someone asks you, "Do you want something? Do you want a water?" I don't care if you don't want the water, you take the water. Then I want you to take note of your feelings. You might be very surprised how uncomfortable you feel to let someone provide for you. Then I want you to become aware of those girls who you just feel like people always are doing stuff for them and they're relaxed about it. They don't have this guilt or the shame around receiving. And when we're talking about balancing the masculine and the feminine energies, when you block a man who is trying to give to you, you are also blocking his need to want to provide for you, meaning you're shutting something down in him that would make him feel good. And for anyone, it feels good to give. So when you're blocking that, you think you're being so polite and so kind. No, you're shaming that person and saying, "I don't trust you enough to provide for me. I'm gonna take care of it myself." So many times, the very thing that we desire the most are exactly what we self-sabotage ourselves to get. So if you wanna work on your own self-awareness, becoming aware of those blind spots, I highly encourage you to join my Psych Advice Inner Circle. For most women, it is subconsciously terrifying for them to activate their feminine energy, and that is what is blocking you from getting what you actually want. We can say we want to be with a partner who can protect, provide. We can say that we're tired of doing everything ourselves, of leading, of always being in this stress, burnt out mode. But we will not get there until we rewire the part of our brain that believes that we are inherently unworthy. Comfortably receiving is one of the biggest indicators that you are actually activated in your feminine energy, and most women are terrified to receive. Why would that be? Typically, this comes from a childhood wound and experience where you needed, and because of that need, you were rejected or abandoned, or you were made to feel like you were too much. So then we develop this incorrect belief that if we have needs, we are also going to be rejected or abandoned. That's why so many of you go around and count on your day where you go, "Oh, it's okay, I got it. It's okay, I can do it." This comes from not even letting someone hold the door open for you, not letting someone help carry in groceries for you, rejecting, "Hey, do you want something to drink? Do you want a water?" "No, I'm okay." Most women subconsciously push that support that they desire away. Needing others puts you in a vulnerable position, and we have mistakenly developed that because we are so hyper independent, that means that we have everything taken care of. But that is actually a very wounded and young part of ourselves that said, "I don't trust anyone to make me feel safe or taken care of. I need to step in and do it myself." It is not our healed, grown-up self that is doing that. And when you are operating in that energy, you will push any support a man tries to give to you unconsciously away. And you send the message to your partner that "I do not trust you." And when a man receives the energy that you do not trust him, he will then feel incompetent and he will pull away. This requires deep rewiring, and if you want to fix this, I highly encourage you to join my Psych Advice Inner Circle, where we work on these things.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you to all my new subscribers. I hope you enjoyed every single clip in this video and you were taking lots of notes. The main takeaway I got from this video was putting out the energy that you don't trust the man that you are with. I definitely have so many trust issues. I feel like it's very difficult for me to receive because a lot of times I'm full of more questions than actual faith and just going with the flow. I definitely like to control the outcomes, and thus I like to know all of the answers and ask lots of questions. So that definitely adds a frequency of distrust. So I'm definitely going to work on that, but let me know in the comments what you think, what you could change and what you could improve upon, and definitely subscribe to this channel for more videos like this every day. And I'm grateful for all the new subscribers. You help keep this channel going, and I'm so grateful to all of you. See you in the next video.